Okay, I'm saying good evening again to everyone who managed to join. Hello, Nada. Hi, Nadushka. Nada is a better name than iPhone. I should have known. So I'm saying good evening to everyone who managed to come, who had the wish to come to um, I would say to find out something new or to learn something new. And before we start, I would really like to make an agreement, let's say an agreement, and this of course concerns to mostly to those who are not, who never came to my classes, who are not uh, familiar with the kind of knowledge I share with the experience of my life, and I mean here mostly Vedic knowledge, which for a modern woman might seem a little bit fantastic. Fantastic and strange. This is why whatever I will say today might be totally new to you, might be totally strange, or even somehow something inside you might, you might have this feeling of rejection, like I'm not ready for this yet. So whatever that be, just I'm not convincing, I'm not insisting, I'm not forcing anyone to change your life today. I'm just telling you how things are, were meant by nature. And if you just will leave this idea in your mind in a very peaceful and ecological way, then you can later just already knowing this alternative idea, you will be able, starting with tomorrow, to observe people around you, to observe couples around you, to observe people in the street, your family, your friends, yourself, analyze your life, and you can apply what you see to what I told, to what you have tried before. You will be able to, your heart will feel mm, what is the truth. Okay, what I will be talking today is why I share this. I mean, why I share this philosophy for myself, because it played the essential role in my changes in my life, in me becoming happy, in me becoming myself, a woman, a feminine woman, a happy woman, a true woman. And this is why those knowledge applied are can be applied in all the times, in all the countries. They do not depend on geography, on time. It's available now. It was actual, and it was working thousands years ago, and it will work as long as women and men will exist in the biological form that we exist now. This is why I might express some ideas which might make you think you did something wrong. Okay, so even if I will sound like this, please just imagine I'm talking about someone. You have nothing to do with this. Just I'm talking about another woman somewhere in Zimbabwe. Okay, and don't take it personally, like just um, so that your heart can stay opened and receive the information and the knowledge. Okay, why I'm so keen about mentioning this, because there is nothing called a woman's self-esteem. A woman doesn't have self-esteem. It means she cannot esteem herself. Her self-confidence is based purely on the uh, opinion, on the words of the people who surround her. And this is a huge difference between us and between men, because a man esteems, he put the price to himself alone. It's enough for him to be great at something, and even if he will be a loser in anything else, he will still think I'm the best because I prepared the omelette the best, and he will not care about anything else. If he is the champion in I don't know, swimming, then he halas, it's enough for him, he is the best. It's enough for him to be good enough, to be best enough in something one, and his self-esteem, he decides I am good, and nobody can change his mind. What when we get back to the to women, then everything is vice versa. We need someone to tell us that we are good, that we are beautiful, that we are, and after like 10 years we will finally believe that, that we deserve, that we are beautiful, that we are good enough, and just that we are, this is why I don't want in any way to offend anyone. So please let's agree that everything that you will hear today doesn't concern you, like doesn't is not addressed directly to you. If you feel that I'm criticizing a certain attitude and women, and you are part of the women who practice this, even if it sounds like criticism, I really do it from my heart, because this is my point of view, and you can just stay the way you want, and I still love you, and I'm here from my best intention. ما إلي مصلحة بالمرة. I just want to be surrounded by happy women. So please put the pluses, everyone who agrees to receive in a calm mind everything that I have to say today here. Okay, agree? My dear Sigrid, yes, we are working, all the time to not be really affected by others, and we can pretend that we are not affected by others. But in order to get there, you really have to be surrounded by people who will keep on telling for a while that you are great. And when you really find that confidence, that halas, you reach to the point that you are great, then yes, you don't depend on their opinion, but you get to another level. For example, I will give you an example from my I will give you an example from my life. All my life, I considered that I'm not beautiful, even though everyone was telling me that I'm beautiful. So they keep on telling me this for quite a long time, and then I worked on myself as well. I cleaned the things that were impeding me to see. Then, at a certain moment, there was, another. Those of people of nice words telling me that I'm beautiful, and I finally felt and believed that I'm beautiful. So now whoever would tell me like you are not beautiful, I say as you want it, they will not change my opinion. So now regarding this moment, I don't depend on anyone's opinion. I know that I'm a great woman. I know that I'm beautiful. I am I did the best as a mother, like I'm still doing, but I know I'm a great mom. I'm useful to the society. Like there are things, halas, my opinion doesn't, I don't depend on someone else's opinion, but there are another things where I need that people keep on telling me that, yes, Rada, this is good, you are good in this, we need this is good, this is works, this, like we always know, because if nowadays, let's say I don't depend on anyone's opinion, if there would, everyone around me would start telling me that you are like this, like this, like this, on day number 1005, I would start really believing what they tell me. And you want to check, you check. But this is the truth. Think about this. This is why there are a lot of women who really do sacrifice their lives in order to in order to keep on receiving those confirmations that they are good. So let's start from the beginning. A man and a woman are born, a boy is born and a girl is born. First, they are very different on biological level. Yes, the body of biologically male body and biologically a female body. And uh, then they grow, and it's not only their body differs, but everything inside them on energetical, mental level, it's different. Different, absolutely everything is different. And most of the families today, the system itself has the attitude towards children, because they call them children, equally. They go to the same nurseries, they go to the same schools, to the same universities. In the families, there are rarely differences in bringing up a girl or bringing up a boy. Usually, girls are treated, are forced forced, I mean, not by force, but they are made, you know, to apply masculine models of behavior, which are competitions, which are achievements, which are results. And these are not the words for a girl. The girl needs a totally different scenario. So for those who never, I will for those who never saw this scheme before. Okay, Zainab, Enti, Elbi, Maggie. Okay, I want you to ask a question. Here is a diagram. Okay, this is the 0 point. This is years, and this is quality. So this is quantity of our life in years, and this is quality of our life. So the question is: once a boy is born, yes, as years he is born, he is born here, 0, yes. So this is where he is born as quality. Once a boy is born, how much percent of masculine qualities he has? Like how much ready man in percentage he has? Please, only Zainab and Maggie can answer, because the rest, I think, you must know. Okay? Yes, Zainab. This, a boy is born, 0. He's 0 years old. He's just a new born. Okay, this is his life, years. And this is quality, his masculine qualities or feminine qualities in a girl. When he is born, how many percentage, like quality, how many percentage of masculine qualities he already has, a boy, when he is born? Just give a guess, like what you feel once a boy is born. How many masculine qualities he has? La, يا قلبي, physically he has all the 100. He's a boy, just he's a small boy. But like qualities, masculine, like the character of a man, like of course he will not manifest them. And this is like responsibility, this is courage, this is this. He will not manifest them at 0 years old. But like in his software, it's already written all of this. It means if he will not do anything, not any development, he will still manifest these qualities. 50. Yes, Maggie. If you have an opinion, tell us. You raised your hand. Maggie, there is down a chart, it's written chart, and you can write whatever you want there. Okay, not to take more time. So, Zainab said 50. You are generous. You are very generous. The fact is that when man is born, he possesses 0 masculine qualities. 0.
Rada.
Yes.
Hi, I didn't know to whom I wrote 0. So is that the right answer? But I don't know to whom I'm chatting with now. Maybe
Then there is written to everyone or to a name. So you just have to press the scroll it down and choose everyone. When you type the message.
Okay.
Yes.
Now you received it?
Yes, my dear. Yes, it's
Okay,
0.
thank you.
So man is born with
Thank
0
you.
qualities. It means he has to, during his life, he has to achieve this knowledge. This is why all his life is about achieving. Now the woman, a girl is born. A girl is born. What about her? What about her? How many feminine qualities she's born with? A girl and a girl. 50 is Maggie, and I'm too generous to answer. La Zainab, yalla, make a try. 100. Okay, Mariam gives 100. Who else? Zainab 70. Okay, Mariam, you keep on baking. And here we're answering for these questions only those who didn't pass the goddess course. So, my dears, the girl, when she is born perfect. She is born here with 100 feminine qualities. She's born complete. This is why we always say to a woman, she is divine. We will not say to a man, you are divine, but we will always say to a woman, or this is normal when we say to a woman, you are divine. Why? What means divine? Divine is something from God. Like, please don't understand me that men are not from God. Men are from God and we love them very much, and without them we cannot get anywhere. Just like without us they cannot get anywhere. But divine, it means that she doesn't have to change. She is already perfect, and this is an essential thing to know. If a man is born and he has to grow up, how to grow up? Not in care and affection. He will only grow when he overcomes obstacles. So a man needs stress, a man needs troubles, a man needs challenges. because all these steps will make him grow, will make him acquire masculine qualities, so that he in the end can become a man. While a woman, she is already born with all the qualities, perfect qualities, she has them. But why we don't see today in the streets outside, in our houses, why we don't say, why we don't see these women? Why we see women who are not happy, who are not successful, especially in the matter of the relation, who are lonely and not loved? Why? Because at a certain point, a woman, I mean generally the woman of the world, was told that she has to be to start working on herself, that she has to be equal to the man, and not only she has to be equal to man, she deserves being equal to the man. And we will say later what this means. So basically she started working on herself. She lost her divine qualities. Lost, I mean not lost, we still have them, we forgot, we changed them for the masculine models, and we start degrading as women. Okay, and again, we will not be lonely here. Why? Because they're not all men are men. Not all men choose to overcome these obstacles in order to really become a man, because it's not easy. They decide, I will stay here and ahle mahle. I choose doing nothing, and I choose just to what life has to offer me, and life will have a lot of things to offer to him. Why? Because there are 1 zillion women, emancipated women, who will just degrade in their qualities, who will become lonely and desperate, and who will agree to hold this man a company. Okay, while a real man, a real prince, will just get to the standards of a divine woman, because we know that women are the one who choose, and it's not the man choosing, it's the woman choosing. So it's up to her what kind of standard she has and what kind of man she can choose. This is why we are born divine. We have all the qualities, and um, our power is on inside. Another difference in men and women: uh, a woman is a dark side, man is a light side. Woman is the moon, man is the sun. Woman is the night, man is the um, day. Woman is the intuition, the emotions. This is why she's the dark side, because she's all inside. It's something that is not visible. And the man is the on the exterior. A man's value is in his action, what he does. A man's value is in his action, his achievements. Prove me, show me what you did. A woman's value is in her qualities, is in her features. We say to a man courageous. Why? Why we say to a man courageous? Because he did something. He acted somehow. He killed the dragon. So he acted, and this is his achievement. While we say to the woman, she's kind, she's charming. What this means? It means she has the qualities which make her be like this. So the problem of the women today is that we go to the wrong gym and training the wrong muscles. I have two pictures that I love very much because they reflect, resemble today's women. Okay, this is what women today are told to be. You are strong, you can, you are just as good as men are. Go girl, and win the world. And the woman will believe. Most of the women, they believe, and they go out there to conquer the world, to conquer the world that is already hers. Because a real woman gets everything without any action, just because she is woman, if she has those qualities. And I will develop this idea later a little bit. So this woman will always be forced to be in competition with who? With men. And it's not her nature. This is not her nature. She will have to break her feminine nature and to enter this competition and to do a super effort which will never bring her satisfaction, because this is not natural to her. And look what we are told from the very beginning. We go to the nursery, we go to the school, and we are told that we have to be good in everything. And you know, oh bravo, you did this, you are a good girl, you made this, you are a good girl, you do. Like, with time, we really start believing that in order to be appreciated, we need to do something. In order to be loved, we have to do something, to have a university, to have a school, to have 2 universities, to have a car, to have a job. And at that time, I am sure I deserve to someone to marry me, because if I will not have those, who will look at me? Okay, isn't this what usually women believe now, what they tend to do now? Please write if I'm wrong. um, the participant with the name Huaye, can you say your name please, so that we know? And Rana, is Rana El Haj, or Rana Sawaye, or Rana, who is the Rana? Please also, if you can, say who you are. Okay, if nobody commented, then and nobody left, then you agree. So look what happens. The woman, it's everything in this world has a function, a nature, and we can only be happy if we live according to our nature. It means there is sugar, there is salt. The sugar will be appreciated as long as it will be sweet. The salt will be always appreciated and demanded as long as it will be salty. If we will take away the taste and only leave the way it looks, after a while we will stop using and valuing sugar and salt. Why? Because balatami. في بس شكل بس بلا طعمة. Why it's not enough the شكل, the way we look only at the appearances? Why this is not enough? Because in a relationship, in everything that we do, our we enter a marriage, we enter a relationship with what idea? So that it will be something nice, it will be something beautiful, and it will be constructive. It will generate another beautiful things. In fact, in most of the time, people are getting married with an idea, and after a very short while they are just highly disappointed, because the reality turned to be otherwise. And I, according to the questions that I have asked on the Facebook, I asked, like, what is your confidence that you will have a lifelong marriage, happy marriage with your husband? And the answers were like 0, 1%, 10%, 40, 60. Nobody answered more than 60, except a couple of women who said 100, without really, like, I'm skeptical even to those answers. But yes, this is what they said. And I said, I was shocked, and I asked why. And they said, because like what we see around us, I will be never able to trust my husband. And this says a woman who's been married, like, let's say, for like freshly married, like 4 years, let's say 5 years, and she already doesn't trust her husband. Why? Because she entered an union without knowing nothing about what a marriage is. This is why today the rate of divorces is around 80%. Imagine 80%. And people, let's say, they might not know the statistic, but they see all those people divorcing or people separating or people who are not happy, and still for a reason, once marrying a woman thinks that, yes, all of them might be losers, all around me might be losers, but for a certain reason, definitely I will succeed. And then they get married. They just post all those beautiful pictures from the weddings. And what if you can observe, you can scroll your line on the Facebook, and you will see, if you see, the photo of a newly married people, the woman, usually man will, please, who, Maggie, my dear, can you close the microphone, please, microphone. Men will never post the photos of their weddings. They don't really, for them, it's not that important. But they will, but we will, women do. And what they say, I'm the happiest woman in the world. I are my world. You are my skies. You are my start. You are my life. I'm so blessed, like nobody else. And one time I will do this selection of these phrases, which everyone posts. And after 2 years, she says, I don't trust him. And basically it's, okay, just to finish the idea. So people enter the marriage, the relation, without really, with kind of illusionary ideas. And if I would say, and basically marriage is a science, this is a life project. And if I would come with an financial project to you, and I would say, please, could you invest like $100 in this project, or even not 100, even $1,000 in this project, and you would tell me like, what is the revenue? And I would tell you the revenue is this, and definitely at a certain point you would ask me, what are the risks? And here I'm telling you, well, the risks are like from 60 to 80%. Please feel free, you will get a lot of pleasure, and and maybe you will be the one who will be part of those 20%. I guarantee you would never, never, never enter such a financial project which has the risk of 80%. And this, we talk about the sum of money, even if it's $1 million, which is nothing comparing to our life. And we enter a life without really knowing so little about who I am, even about who he is, and about how we can interact together. So, if this is why most of the women today, like, this is the root of everything messed up in our life, because we choose a life which is not natural to us. We choose a career. I generalize, because this is the tendency in women today. Yes, we choose a career, and look what happens in the career. Usually, what is the tendency? The young girl, she graduates from the university, and she, after 12 years of school, 4 years or 5 years of university, she gets employed, and usually she keeps on periodically raising her qualification. And normally, in general, a woman in her job, every year she becomes, or every period, few years, she becomes better and better and better. It means she evolves, she becomes better, she becomes more successful. While In the same time, in her family, the relation, they degrade, they become worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Why? Very simple. The answer is very simple. Because after 15 years, at least 15 years of daily, like 8 hours, like, okay, the school, university are not 8 hours, let's say 6 hours per day, learning something, then definitely you will be successful. After spending 8 hours at your office doing the very same job, or doing your full effort to be the best at what you are asked to, then definitely you will have a result. Then definitely. But what did we do to be a successful housewife? Don't underestimate this word, because usually when we say a housewife, we imagine, an ugly woman, a fat woman wearing robe, and not arranged, and really stupid, and who spent all her day in front of the TV eating sunflower seeds, and really, drinking coffee and smoking all day. This is the idea of the house, a primitive woman, a suppressed woman. This is the idea that people have about a housewife. In fact, a housewife, if she is in the right state of mind, she's a fairy. She's a goddess. She's a fairy, and basically, I'm a housewife. I consider myself a housewife in before anything else, before any of other my activities. And I never considered myself primitive. I'm a very happy and very spoiled in a nice way by the life woman. And this is why, so why they choosing career? Because it's easy, they know, they learn. Why they haven't prepared in any way to have their life at home under control. They don't know what this means. She doesn't know what this man wants. She doesn't know what kind of what are his necessities. So she doesn't know how she must behave, because she doesn't know. She's not guilty. Nobody taught her, not at school, not her mama. Probably her grandma made an effort, but we didn't listen, because we said, grandma, this is old fashioned, like uh, better I listen, I watch this, I learn from movies. You see, we didn't learn anything in order to even dare hope for success in our life. Plus, what is most important, we don't have the support. People around us really don't support this idea. What our moms and dads, they tell us, what they say to a girl, to a young girl, go and get employed. Why? Because you have to be independent. In case he decided to divorce you, you have to be strong. You have to be, your own. People from the very beginning, they meditate on the bad situation. Why, instead of this, not to teach your daughter how to be a woman with all the qualities a woman must be, so that your husband will never even wish to replace you? Never. The only wish he will have to make you happy, not to use you to pay the credits together, to pay the like crazy things together, to become partners. We cannot be partners. We cannot be partners. We are not equal. Because if we are equal, and we, one day I clean the dishes and one day he cleans the dishes, I go to work, he goes to work, I bring money home, he brings money home, he wants me to work and bring the income home, he brings, then the first child I give birth, the second child he must give birth. That time we will be equal. But as long as he cannot give birth to our second child, so just let's choose being women, and they will help them be men. Why it's important? Because every woman dreams to have next to her a hero. Why we get married? Why we get married? Because in our mind, we really dream to have a strong man next to us. Who married for another reason, please? Even if we married because our dad and our mom like were nagging, nah, it's time, you are 21 years old, it's time, it's time, it's time. Even though if this was the reason, inside us, what kind of man we wanted? We wanted a strong man who would give us his protection, right? Who would take care of us. Am I right? True, yes. And it turned up to be different. Why? Because I always say, in a marriage, there is only one dress and one pair of trousers. If I choose the dress, if I choose the trousers, then my husband will be left only with the dress. There is nothing less left. There is no third option. So this is why there is energy. Our marriage, our love is built on energy, because this body will get old, we will have wrinkles, we will be in a different shape, we will be maybe less attractive physically, but not this what makes us be and stay loved. It's something behind the appearance, it's something our qualities. Because if I give to my husband that energy, that invisible, giving, if I give him that invisible stuff that he needs, then it will be fuel for him to really manifest his masculine attitudes, and then he will return to me what I need. In this time, the exchange, there will be synergy in our family. The man will receive what he wants, and I will receive what I want. What happens now? A woman needs protection. She wants a strong man. And a man, he wants someone who will need him. Believe me, my dear women, my dear goddesses, the man, your future man, or the man who is already in your life, he doesn't need you to pay the credit with him. Even if now he thinks like this, because yes, there are many men who even say like, "La, my honey, you have to work." He doesn't understand. You must help him understand that it's really not what he wants, and more than this, by this he steals from himself, he loses. Okay, so you must understand that the real man, he needs someone who will need him. He needs someone to save. He wants you to need him, to need his the hero in him. He needs you to need the generous man in him, because they are generous if we need them. Okay, so potentially you have a hero, you married a hero, you married a king, and what happens? You because you were told, and you really think that it brings you honor to be independent, to be strong, you try to be so. You work, you achieve, and what is most terrible thing? You show this to him. And you think that he will love you more because you are smart, because you are, you can afford buying the car by yourself. So kind of you save him from headache, and you think that all this will make him love you more. And by all this, you just push him away because you are someone who doesn't need him. And if he sees that you don't need him, he will find someone who will need him. Why? There are so many cases when usually my friends called me and they say, this is my friend, or even women say, my husband, after 30 years of marriage, he was no one, and uh, together we build an empire. Now we have the chain of restaurants in all Middle East, and he left me. And he left me for someone younger who uses him and uses him. She needs his money. Let's say why? Because a man is, when he sees that he achieved something with the help of someone, and especially who, a woman, and especially who, his woman, then he understands that in his eyes, in his opinion, in her eyes, I'm sorry, in her eyes, he has no value, because he didn't manifest him as a real man. Because as a real man, what a real man says when he gets married, he says, my darling, from now on, all your problems are my problems, and you can forget about them. And from now on, all my problems are my problems, and you will never know about them. Isn't that nice? Who wouldn't like to hear such word from your man? Right. Okay, this is what men need. They don't need us smart. Smart, I mean, to be able to discuss with them. Of course, this is heaven, Sarah. Yes, this is heaven. And this is a must. It's not a luxury. It's not a winning lottery ticket. Every one of you, of every women there, they can achieve this. Only we have to use to stay sugar. We have to stay sugar, not to pretend we are sugar. We have to have the qualities of the sugar. The appearances are not important anymore. Not anymore. They always will be important, but we cannot move without the qualities. Okay? So, uh, she uh, decided, she gets married to him, and she decides to really work hard. Because why? Because all our life we thought that we must self-sacrifice ourselves, and we will be appreciated, because this is why we serve. We think we will be appreciated. We think that one day that man with who we are waking up every single morning will say, something is wrong. Look at this woman. She's really nice. She's so gentle. And she has to work like why? Halas, it's enough. She worked so much. She gave me so much. She really she did so much. It's enough. It's time for me to fully reward her, to pay her back. They will never do this, because he didn't even realize he did something, the sacrifice for him. He was thinking that as long as you are doing this, it's you who wants to do this. It's you needing this. This is how we are built, not because they are monsters. They are not. It's only because we are not giving from the beginning them what we should. Okay? So she works, he works. She sometimes has the income bigger than he does, and he knows about this. So she says, for what? I mean, to appreciate him. Like, like it's nothing special. She doesn't encourage him to be. Alone he cannot. Then what such a man can give to her? If she is not, she isn't even used to say thank you to him, to be grateful to him. And then he finds someone, a woman full of life, who appreciates him, who admires him. And why subconsciously he wants to find someone? Because your presence in his life will always remind him that he didn't achieve it alone. He, in a way, is a loser, or in another way, his woman that he is really ready to love, saw him weak, and they don't like him. She saw him vulnerable, and they don't like him. And maybe even she's mentioning every here and there that I did it, I helped you, alone you couldn't. So he finds someone, he just turned the page, someone new, who never saw him vulnerable, who is the woman who asks him for presents. It means she needs him. The working woman why she's working? This is what the ladies wrote on the group, the answers. Like, I want to work, I want to be independent, because I don't want to ask him for all the expenses. I can afford it myself, so I don't have to ask him. Why they have this trauma? They seek this sick trauma in their head, because They saw their mothers, most probably, they saw their mothers, how humiliated, how humiliating they should be asking from their fathers things which are normal. And she said, as a girl, she has all this in her mind. And she said, La, I don't want this. I don't want this humiliation to ask 3 hours for a lipstick or to have to sleep with him because otherwise he will not give me money. Like, I don't want this. La, I will have my money so I don't depend on him. So that the first step I don't like, I will just leave and I will be safe on the other side. With such meditation in your head, you will definitely wake up in one morning on the safe side. And you will decide, I was good, he is the bastard. And it's not true. In a relation, both play the role of, the constructive or destructive. This is why men need someone who needs them. They want you to ask, to accept their presence. They want you to accept that he spends on you. He wants you to be grateful. He wants you to need him. And most of the women they don't. Why? So I'm going back to the very beginning. A woman is born on physical level. This is her first birth biologically, the physical one. She's born in a body of a female. She grows. She goes through all these scenarios, but she doesn't develop her feminine qualities because she doesn't even know what this means. She's not guilty. She's not guilty. She doesn't know what those are. She just follows the scenarios, what she sees around. She follows the scenario that her parents tell her. And her parents basically want their children to avoid their mistakes. Basically, following the parents, generally speaking, following the parents' advices, we will avoid the problems, but we will not get to the to happiness. Because parents cannot possibly know what is the destiny of their daughter. They just want, worship. I made my duty. I made the best for my children, and now they are on the safe side. They are working, and in case of something, they are safe. So the girl is born. She goes to school. She goes to university. She's employed. She doesn't use her feminine qualities. She doesn't develop them. She gets into a relation without knowing how. Basically, she walks like a blind. She's guided by, like if you would be you would have your eyes tight and you would walk in a room, in a corridor, then you would walk attentively, and your single criteria, if you are walking right or wrong, would be hitting the walls. It means you hit the walls, you felt the pain, you a little bit, you get the distance, and then you hit another wall and you get the distance, because and the moment when you don't hit the wall, you consider them happiness. These are what women today in Lebanon are living, and they think they are happy. They are not. I generalize, of course, because I'm living in Lebanon and I'm happy. I know women who are living in Lebanon and they are happy. Many are present here today. This is why it's so hard for a woman to accept that she did something wrong, because she doesn't even realize she's not happy. It's like being born in a city and breathing all this polluted air all her life in the city. And then when her age is around 25, for the first time in her life, she goes up into the mountains And then she say, oh my God, what is this? It's like, I've never experienced this before. This fresh air that just makes you be dizzy. And you said, oh my God, all my life I've been taking that for happiness when that is hell and this is happiness. And then she can hardly go back to the city because she finally understood how the things should be. This is why it's important to have around us examples of women who are truly happy, who are not saying I'm happy, who are truly happy. And you can see this in her eyes. Because I'm always asked, like, Rada, really, can't we have both, like career and be a housewife? No, we cannot at the same time. You have to choose a priority. You will choose a priority career first, you will fail 100%. Okay, not 100%, let's leave exception like 0.00%. It's impossible because there is time, there is priorities, there are steps like in cooking something. I always give example of the, I don't know, boiling rice. What you need in order to boil rice? You need only the rice and the water, only two ingredients and salt if you want. But if you will just change them as order, you will first put the rice and after half an hour you will put the water. It will burn. And only two ingredients. And you will say, what the difference? The difference is huge. The difference is huge. So this woman, she grows and she gets married without knowing how she must behave in a marriage. So she is not okay because she doesn't understand the meaning. She still wants to party every 2 days, to go out. She's not ready for the changes. She didn't change. Her status changed, but she didn't change. Then he has the kid that she doesn't want. I mean, doesn't want. She's not ready. She's not ready to change for this child. She leaves him at home, and after 40 days, she goes like crazy to work again, saying that her husband, otherwise we cannot live in Lebanon, because her husband cannot, if only he works, they will starve. Come on, he's your man. He's your man who assumed responsibility to take you as a wife and give you happiness. And you believe that he cannot provide. He can. If you will be able to trust him, he can. He can. And you will be surprised how much things he can. Because we know many examples. A woman divorces her man because he cannot, and then he marries someone else, and everyone is just surprised. Wow. In 3 years, he became a very successful businessman. Why? Because next to him is a woman who believed in him. Next to him is the woman who accepted his masculine qualities, and she stayed a woman, and he accepted, he wanted him to be a man. We know that many times the same man with a woman, he's a loser, and the very same man with another woman, he's the king. It's not about men. Men have zero qualities. Men have zero qualities. But this zero quality man can easily be taken here if he has a woman behind him, not in front of him, behind him. And a man who is here, a woman can easily take him down by not believing. Men need this. So this woman, she has children and she's not ready. She doesn't activate in herself this mother instincts. Why? Because she's not a wife in the first place. She's not ready to change this life. She stays the same. She thinks, I can be the same, have the same interest and same desires as before, and the marriage, man, and kids are accessories. It's impossible. It's impossible. Every stage must bring changes in you. This is why after a while the relationship becomes cold. This is why after a while we say that he doesn't love me like, or he loves me less anymore. And I was thinking about my husband. Like, you know, analyzing someone else's life. You want to see who is like, this is the rule or maybe this is an exception. And I analyzed my life, that my husband, I said after 13 years of marriage, he was loving me much more than in the beginning, even though in the beginning he was loving me limitless. And I thought like it's impossible for him to love me more. And I asked myself, like, I was, and believe me, I'm a very adequate, I'm a very critic and a very objective person. And I was asking why was he loving me more and more and more? And I realized that. I realized then why. Because when he married me, I was just a young lady, and I was really great. This is why he loved me, and he was great. Okay. Then when we got married, I changed. I just opened my bag of feminine qualities of this 100% field luggage, and I just looked through the things, and I just figure out the qualities that I need now as a wife, because I was understanding that I have a new status, so I have to have new qualities, and start step by step through mistakes, through challenges. I became a wife. I became a wife. Then we had our first child, and I became a mom. So I opened again my feminine luggage, and I looked through the things, and I understood what I have to use in order to be a mother, and I became more complete as a woman. I became different. I was using more, and I was different in a good sense. So he loved me more. Then we had our second child. And even though I was already a great mom in his eyes, but now I was ready for more mother qualities. I was ready for them, and I used them. And he was amazed. This woman is like really, really great. Like, and he loved me more. And then when I figured out that my knowledge is useful for other people, and people around me started appreciating me and looking at me not only like a mother and a friend, but also trying to ask me for advice or like to learn something from me, you know, I started discovering my talent, my predestination. Then he was proud of me, like in front of the society, and he loved me even more. Why? Because I was different. Every period, every time he was discovering in me something more and more new, different. I was changing. And this is what made me manage after his death. Because I didn't choose the career. I was not working on my what if. I was not meditating on his death. I was not meditating on divorce. I never knew this would happen. So I didn't work on my safe side. But because I was a good wife, because I was a housewife, we had an amazing circle of friends. I was free for those friends. I was there for those friends. I mean, before we had good friends. Then I was a good wife, and I was a good mother. And I had experience. I had my knowledge. I had the information which I applied and became my life, became my knowledge. And after that, this knowledge turned out to be useful to people. And now they pay me for this. Pay me to share my knowledge, my experience, my happiness, and my challenges. This is normal. This is the way. Be in your place, and you will always be taken care. Or you have, this is called wise born woman. It's not enough to be born only in the body of a woman, because you will be married, but you will not be a wife. You will have children, but you will never be a mom, because you don't know how to raise those children. You are afraid of them. Someone else raises your children while you are at work. Why? Because you have to pay with your husband the hospital bed, the credit you took for the house. You are not living in that house. You are all day at work. Who is at the house? Your helper, the girl, the helper, and your dog maybe, or the cat. So you are working so that this girl and your dog have a nice flat to live in. And then you will grow old and you will be full of regret and reproaches to life, because you didn't live your life, because you didn't even know how many wonderful qualities you have inside you. You never use them. Just imagine, you all your life you had a crown on your head and you were not realizing you have it. All your life you had a piece of gold in your pocket, and you never realized that you are carrying this. You are a wealthy soul, and all your life you are nagging that life is so hard. Life is not hard. Life is not hard. Life is beautiful. Only the sugar must stay sweet, and the salt must stay salty, so that they will be always appreciated. Why are we afraid to stay women? When I have my courses, do you remember what is my wish at our first class? The goddesses, please say who were at my classes. What is my wish always to you at my first class? Happiness, أكيد happiness. بس في هيك a certain provocative wish. I always I always wish to all the participants in my classes that I hope that by the end of this course, it means after 9 months, you will be happily jobless. You will be happily jobless. And what most of you answer me, Lara, it's impossible. I like it. I love my job. I like it. And we cannot afford this. We will starve. We will die from starving. And like I will become a primitive woman, and my husband will stop loving me. But then you understand that this is the way. And most of you became happily jobless. You left your jobs, you reorganized your life, and you didn't starve. Even vice versa. There are many of you who said that once I stopped working, my husband increased his income. Yes, because this is how the law in this world works. The woman must focus on something else if she wants happiness, because the woman is the only one responsible for family's prosperity, abundance, good luck, or vice versa. Because she is energetically very strong. We have to work on our inside qualities, and the man must achieve. If you have any question, and I love it, of course you love it, because it feels great. I ask the women who say like, La, I love my work. And my next question is, you like your work? Would you go and work without being paid? And they say no. I love my work, and I can work without being paid, and I will still work, and I often do. because I love my work. Because why? My work is like a holiday. Why? Because this is my talent. This is something I do. This is something I was born to do. And each of you has this talent, has this diamond in you hidden, and you are not using it. You are stealing from people around you by not showing this diamond, because you think you have to achieve in order to be loved. No. For example, a man says, I built my house. I bought my car. I planted a tree. I conquered the world. I'm the king. He's proud. Yes, because he achieved it. This is normal from the mouth of a man. And when a woman says, I made, I did, I'm successful, this is an unhappy woman. Because a woman, a real woman, must receive everything just because she is a woman. She must not achieve anything. Really scary. Yes, it sounds scary. I know. I think many will look in the recording and they will say this is something crazy. This is something impossible, but it is possible. When you are manifesting your feminine qualities, then everything will be on their places. To all the women who are meditating on the divorce by saying, I want uh, uh, to arrange my safe side in case something will happen. Now imagine, how would you feel if your husband heard you? Do you imagine his reaction? That his woman, the woman for who he goes and works every single day, she doesn't trust him. If this is normal, can you say this to your husband? No, because this is not normal. You choose being independent from your husband, the man that you chose, who forced you to marry this weak, foolish, irresponsible, lazy man. Who forced you? You chose him because you loved him. You chose him willingly. And now you say, I don't want to depend on him. And you choose depending on your boss. And you trust your boss that he will pay you at the end of the month, and you don't trust your husband that he will bring everything that you need end of the month. Is this normal? It's not normal. Stop living a sick life and start living a happy life. Not overnight. Things cannot be broken here overnight, but at least I want you to feel that there is another way, a feminine way. So now imagine the way you want to assure a safe side just in case. Imagine if your man thinks the same. Oh, I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid. If she will divorce me, if she will divorce me, oh my God, what I will do, what I will do. I have to find someone. Let me find Zulzuluf and start having a relation with her. In case we will divorce, I will be in the safe side. I will not be alone. This is the same what you do when you go to work. You imagine if he would start, uh, making things be safe there. You would consider this a betrayal, just the way he feels that you betray him when you don't trust him. When you don't trust him. A woman's happiness starts when she becomes what she becomes. Who remembers yesterday in the class we talked about this before yesterday? A woman's happiness starts when she becomes yalla yalla. Who remembers? Okay, I will say again, so I will repeat. When she becomes relaxed, feels protected. Yes, but when she feels protected, when she allows someone to protect her, when she allows someone to protect her, when she becomes relaxed, it means I don't want to keep everything under control. Because these women are crazy. They want to have everything under the control. It's so tiring. It's so tiring to have everything under control. What he does and what he works and what he brings, and she just gets old too fast. So she wants to have, so she has to be relaxed and irresponsible. You imagine? It's really nice. It feels nice being irresponsible. It means you are not responsible for the decisions are taking in your family. And it doesn't mean that you are not participating in the decisions. The decisions in a woman's family are made according to her wishes. But I don't decide, he decides. And if it's a mistake, he is responsible. Because you know why? You know why we don't need this? Why it hurts us? Because we never stop thinking. Men stop thinking, they don't care. They made a mistake, it doesn't matter. It will not affect their self-confidence. But it will affect ours. We will remember that mistake for a very long time, and it will not let us sleep. And we will think, I'm not good enough, I made the wrong choice. But when you become responsible, it means you are under the protection. You are under the protection because a man's job is to protect those who are under his to protect those who are under his protection, who are weaker. And the woman, according to man, is weaker. We mean physically, like activities. Energetically, she's much stronger. But she uses in a way that he makes him uh, do his job the best. Many things I wanted. I'm seeing that it's 7:30. If anyone has any question, please write. Yes, a few days ago I was looking my Facebook line, and I see a photo of a woman, probably not probably from my friends list, and she started boxing trainings. And she was writing, okay, she wrote the poster. She said, no pain, no gain. Like, I don't remember who this was. Maybe it's someone present here. Please don't take it personally, because you posted it, but there are a lot who don't and who live like this. Okay, so it's not about you. It's about the women out there. We are talking about them. So she said, no pain, no gain. This is not a woman talking. This is a man talking. This is a man talking. A man with breasts. Because she thinks that only through achievements, through effort, she can gain, so she can be valuable only through this. And she will keep all her life being in competition, and she will never become happy. Never. Because everything that a woman achieves by herself doesn't bring her satisfaction. And I will give you easy proof. Most of you can afford buying yourself flowers. In the first place, we all like receiving flowers. Yes? Yes. If there is someone no, just write a minus if you don't like. All of us, we can afford buying flowers, right? Yes. But on my birthday, what would I prefer? Buying myself flowers or receiving? These are two different things, totally different things. When I buy myself flowers, I understand that I am alone, I'm not loved, and I have no one to protect me. And when somebody gives me flowers, then I understand I'm loved. I understand that I am loved, I'm married. This is the difference, the very same about everything in her life. If the woman achieves it by herself, it it's not something to be proud of. This is a very unhappy woman who thinks she's happy. And I saw many groups and clubs and communities of such women, very successful in their career, all lonely, divorced, never married, or unhappily married, and who choose having a cat and a glass of whiskey in the evening. And I'm not joking. This is the women I know. Unhappy women. Why? And because they chose to work on the wrong muscles. And okay, I saw that post, no pain, no gain. And I was very, who knows me, you know what I was feeling. And I say, yalla, I want to forget, cancel, cancel, cancel. I want to forget about this. And I just scroll it, and subhanallah, next post, just the very next post. And in my mind, in the very same 30 seconds, 1 billion of thought and comments got processed. I say, why, woman, you are so unhappy? Why you choose this way? Why? Well, like, how we can make things be better in this world? And is it right? Is it wrong? And I just scroll it down, and the next post, the very next, just below it, was writing. I just wrote so I don't forget, okay? A woman must not be a fighter. Do you imagine God's wisdom when He wants to show you something? And believe me, all of us have 1,000 of such signs and messages every single day all around us. On the banners, on the books, in the songs, words, lyrics, and everything. Hearing someone accidentally sitting next to you. So a woman must not be a fighter. Her predestination is joy and inspiration. We are born to receive from life everything what we desire without demanding or fighting. You see, we don't have to fight for what we are. We must not prove we are good. We deserve love. We must not. But we must receive everything just because we are women. But we get to these results, to this state of mind, state of mood in your life when you literally receive everything just because you are a woman, when we use the feminine qualities, and your life will become a fairy tale. I am afraid that those of you who don't know my life, who don't know me, will think that this is hablani, this is something it might work for someone, but this is not the real life. But believe me, this is the real life. When you activate your qualities, your feminine qualities, you become a fairy. You become a fairy in your house. You become a fairy in your life. You wish and God brings it to you. Why? Because you are on your place. And my life is full of such proofs, of such, if you want to call it miracles. I stopped calling them miracles because halas, they became my life. This is a standard. It became my standard. It became my norm. It's not a miracle anymore. But there were so many miracles in my life. And now I understand why. Just because I am on my place and I know that I will always be taken care of through different people, by God directly, whoever that would be. Why? Because I'm a goddess. I don't have to act. I have to work on my inner qualities. And yes, I agree. It's very, very, very hard because apparently you would look weak. Oh, you don't have a job? Are you crazy? You want to leave your job? I had a woman, a very good friend. She's amazing. She was working at the university, and when first time I told her that, like, I wish you can quit your job one day, she said, "No, I love my job. I really love my job." And I said, "Would you agree working without money?" She said, No, but I love my job. Like really, I go and I enjoy there. And I ask her, okay, please tell me what you like about your job. And she tells me, I like, first we have an amazing garden around. She likes her job, huh? And she says, we have an amazing garden around. And I can go every time I have a break, I can go there and spend some time. And we have a great team that I work with, and we spend time, and they are really great. I enjoy being there. Not a single word about her work. She needs communication because she's a woman. Because she is a woman. And then with time she said, like, I felt I want to quit my job. I'm not ready yet. I'm afraid, but I felt I want. And then she quit her job. And now she's a very, 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 very happy and very active mom with a lot of things to share to her community around her. When a woman becomes a real woman after being a wife, after being a mother, she will always become socially active. Don't be afraid that you will get rotten at your home. You will never. As long as you will do those duties, the Miriam, the way you must, you will always have a lot of things. You will finally, eventually discover your predestination. What is your talent? People will help you discover this, and you will start be useful to the society. You will start being active. You will start extending yourself outside your house. You will have time and wish and matter for this. Don't think that your husband will stop loving you because you will have no value sitting at home. He will adore you because when he will come at home, he will have freshly cooked meal, and you will be smiling. You will not be tired. You will be smiling, expecting him at home. uh, what else? So many things, Buzz. Another not exercise, another test for yourself. We think, I say the modern, emancipated, the traumatized woman today, let's say she thinks, because we don't think like this anymore, she thinks that she will be loved and appreciated. She must be smart. She must be successful socially. So if we will ask a man, what would you choose? What would you choose? Having a smart, successful woman, or having a beautiful woman, kind and beautiful woman? What do you think he would choose? Really, what do you think a man would choose, a real man? Everyone would choose the feminine wife. The beautiful, and beautiful, it doesn't really, I mean the standard. La, my dears. And you have many examples around you. An amazing man married a woman who has no beauty apparent in her. But she's so amazing, she's so attractive, and she's so charming. This is why every man would choose a feminine woman, not a smart one who would be able to shut him up, because we know we are professionals in shutting up the man, because we think fast. And the very same, if I would ask you, what would you choose? A handsome man, the ideal of the girls in my childhood, I never understood why, but their ideal was a blonde man with blue eyes. I say, oh my God, never, never, this would be the nightmare of my life. But let's say, Hekio, imaginary, a handsome man, what would you choose? A handsome man, or a man with no special features of beauty, but responsible, generous, and courageous? Adriano Celentano, he's not beautiful, he's not handsome at all. He's also like close to being a monkey. He's amazing. Why? He's charming as a man. Why? Because, he has this character. Because he has the character of a man. At least, let's say, what we see in, let's say, through his movies. What would you choose, a handsome man or a masculine man, with a man with masculine qualities, courageous, responsible, and generous? Yalla, women here, what would you choose? A top model or a man? Say, or you fall asleep.
Muscular.
Yes, a man. Of course, girls, this is why we are going to the movies. Because look again, psychologically, things we never think come naturally. What kind of movies? Good. Mabruk ya Maggie, that your husband is responsible. What kind of movies boys choose? They choose action movies. Why? Because there they have the result as example of achievement, the proof of strength. They need this. Wow, he's strong. And what movies girls choose? Love movies, romantic movies. Why? Because we want to see how he loves her, how he strongly holds her hand. Because this is what we need. This is what we need. And remember the movie Devil Wears Prada. Yes? Do you remember this movie? If you never watched this movie, I myself watched it like maybe 1 year ago, it happened on the plane, because this is the only time when I have time for movies. But this movie is just dedicated to all the women, just like a proof how a woman should not be. And look, apparently she was a dream of success. She was an example. She was an idol. She reached where little people reach. And probably everyone would like being like her. And then you saw how unhappy she was. How she was crying because she was lonely. She was an highly, extremely traumatized and unhappy woman. And the more woman is unhappy in her life, in her personal life, the more she tries to be socially active and to prove she can. Because a happy woman, she will never have the wish to go outside. Why we go outside to work? Because we need the appreciation we don't get it at home. Because if at home my husband will tell me in the morning, you are my queen, I love you, and you are the best. And at lunchtime he will say your food is the best, and he will bring me flowers. And in the evening he will say that I'm the most beautiful woman. I'm not number one, I'm the one. Do you think I will have any wish to go outside and to hear these words from someone else? I will search for appreciation from my colleagues, from my people from my office. I will not need. I don't need anyone. I don't need anyone to tell me I'm good. Because it's enough. My husband loves me. Why he loves me and will always love me? Because I give him what he needs. And I tell him what I need, and he gives me this because he wants me to be happy. I think this is enough for you to have an idea, and I hope especially for those who see me for the first time, I mean who listen to my ideas for the first time, I don't know how shocking this maybe was or not. I don't know how crazy this might sound for you, but I really hope that you this idea keep it somewhere. uh, Thank you, Zainab. Keep it somewhere aside, okay? And from time to time, get back, applying what you heard, applying the reality, the examples you see around you on what I said, and look if it makes sense or not. And if it does make sense, please start changing your life from inside, from yourself, and start thinking of becoming happy, because happiness doesn't come alone. Happiness is very expensive. We cannot buy it, but we have to pay a lot. Thank you, Mariam. If anyone has any question, maybe any idea was not clear enough, please, I really want you to leave from here with, I hope I didn't offend anyone. Did I? Because it was never my intention, but sometimes just like I was saying before we started the seminar, I yesterday I read a very I think that I that I was struggling about, so I got the answer, and it was saying that if you have to choose between lying or being rude, choose being rude. And if you have to choose between lying and being cruel, then choose lying. So sometimes we have to say the truth, even if nobody practices it. And there is one question. Zainab is asking if is this applicable in all situations. I was always thinking on this during your webinar. What do you mean this applicable? The using the qualities of the woman being feminine? What do you mean? If being a woman, yes, definitely, we always have to stay a woman with our qualities. But I'm not sure if what just specify what you mean is this applicable. What this in all situation about not thinking of the negative issues like to work. A woman must work. If she is not protected by her father, it means she is alone, she's not married, she has to pay a rent, she has to buy food. So definitely if nobody supports, she's not protected by anyone, then yes, she must work. But she must not build a career if she wants to get married. She needs time to activate in her this feminine quality. She must not work like a horse to be tired and not have time for anything else and for herself. So in this time she must work a little bit, just as much as she needs to cover her expenses. But if she is married, then her working will only spoil her man. This is the situation in 99%, 99, 99. Yes, my dear, I guarantee you this. I guarantee you this. But my dears, please, it doesn't mean that you come you go now to your husband and you say, my dear, change of parties. I quit my job. It's your duty to protect me. دبر حالك. No, 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 please don't make any change tonight. Just keep this idea in your mind. Think about this, feel it, how it resonates, how you can change. And you know, with time, you will know how to do it. Just don't change something that you don't understand. My dear, if it's something that takes little time and effort, and a woman can still take care of the house and family, then definitely, yes, definitely you can, you know, like 2 hours per day, you can, you can go, you can, I don't know, do some work, but it means you anytime you can cancel, you know, these 2 hours if you have change of plan, and you don't depend on those money, you just do it because you like it, plus you receive some kind of money which is yours, and you spend it on yours, you know, on your fashion, let's say. So definitely yes, a woman, a housewife, a smart housewife who does all her work at home, and you know, who is the housewife from her heart, she will always have the wish, power, and time for the other activities. And if there is something that she wants to give, when people need her, her presence, her activity, her services, then definitely she can cook, she can teach, she can, yes, 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 of course she can. But you know, like my teacher was, I just love this definition of a feminine work. What is a feminine work? Is when you call in the morning your boss and you say, Sid Zainab, today I'm not coming to the office. I'm not coming because I'm not coming. And she says, don't worry, Rada, don't worry. I'm also not coming. This is the feminine job, and you cannot describe it better. It should not be more than 4 hours per day. It should not. And anytime it's, you know, it's a kind of work. You come, the teapot is already on the fire, the tea is preparing, the cookies you bring with you. There are more 2, 3 women happy as you, and you just you do something and you leave home happy. And you know, you feel happy, you feel relieved because gargartu ad mamatkon, and this is feminine work. Yes, yes, my dears. Anything else? Thank you. You are most welcome. You are most welcome, Zainab. Okay, then, if everything I hope is clear, I wish you from my heart that you continue or start, I don't know, there are many of you I don't know, so you start walking toward your happiness, courageously and softly, and so that you become inspiring for other women around you. I wish you happiness, and I wish you a good night, and be feminine. Good night. Thank you.